Let me start with something most people don't expect to hear in a Bible discussion. What if the Bible contains a book that talks openly about desire, longing, attraction, touch, and intimacy? Not in a crude way, not in a careless way, but in a way that feels honest, human, and deeply emotional. That book exists. It's called Song of Solomon, and for centuries, people didn't know what to do with it because it doesn't sound religious. It sounds real. Song of Solomon doesn't begin with rules. It doesn't begin with warnings. It doesn't begin with explanations. It begins with longing, with desire that hasn't been satisfied yet, with love that hasn't been fully reached. And that already makes people uncomfortable. This book is part of the wisdom books of the Old Testament, but it's different from all the others. Job talks about suffering. Psalms talks about emotion. Proverbs talks about discipline. Ecclesiastes talks about meaning. Song of Solomon talks about love. Not abstract love, embodied love. Here's why people struggle with this book. They expect the Bible to talk about God and rules. Song of Solomon talks about attraction, absence, desire, closeness, separation, reunion. It talks about wanting someone, missing someone, searching for someone, and it doesn't apologize for it. At first glance, this book feels like a love poem. Two voices, a man and a woman, speaking to each other, about each other, longing, admiring, waiting. But underneath that, there's wisdom most people miss. Song of Solomon teaches something modern culture forgot. Desire itself is not evil, but how you handle desire matters. In modern life, desire is rushed. Swipe, consume, replace, move on. Song of Solomon slows everything down. It celebrates waiting, anticipation, restraint, timing. It repeats one idea again and again. Do not awaken love before its proper time. That's not repression. That's wisdom. Let's make this modern. People rush relationships, rush intimacy, rush commitment, then wonder why connection feels shallow. Song of Solomon would say, you skip the season of longing. You skip depth. This book also talks a lot about absence. There are moments where one lover is searching for the other, calling out, walking through the city, asking strangers if they've seen them. That's emotional vulnerability. Love isn't just closeness. It's the fear of loss. And notice something important. The lover doesn't hide that fear. They don't pretend they're fine. They admit, I need you. I miss you. I'm looking for you. That level of honesty is rare. Song of Solomon also honors the body, not as an object, but as something worthy of poetry. Descriptions are slow, detailed, respectful. This book doesn't separate soul and body. It treats love as whole. That's radical. Modern culture does one of two things: over-sexualizes the body or shames it. Song of Solomon does neither. It honors it. Another deep layer people often miss. This book is about mutual desire, not domination, not ownership. Both voices speak. Both long. Both choose. That's equality before modern language existed. And that's why many scholars believe this book survived, because it shows love as reciprocal, chosen, not forced. There's also pain in this book. Moments of misunderstanding, missed timing, closed doors. One lover hesitates, and the moment passes. That's real. How many relationships break not because of betrayal, but because of delay? Song of Solomon understands that. Timing matters. Presence matters. Here's where the spiritual layer comes in, quietly. Many readers see this book as human love and also a picture of divine love. Not instead of each other, but through each other. The longing for connection mirrors the longing of the soul. But even if you remove theology completely, this book still stands, because it understands human attachment better than most modern books. Song of Solomon also respects boundaries. It doesn't say, take whatever you feel. It says, protect love. That's wisdom in a culture of impulse. Another uncomfortable truth: love is not constant excitement. There are seasons: longing, fulfillment, distance, reunion. Song of Solomon doesn't hide that rhythm. It embraces it. If Proverbs teaches you how to control impulses, and Ecclesiastes teaches you not to expect meaning from pleasure, Song of Solomon teaches you how to experience love without destroying it. This book also values exclusivity. My beloved is mine, and I am his. Not ownership, belonging, chosen belonging. That's different. Modern culture fears commitment. Song of Solomon celebrates it, not as a cage, as safety. And here's the quiet wisdom at the center of this book. Love is powerful, so powerful that mishandled love can damage people deeply. That's why this book treats love with reverence. Song of Solomon doesn't rush intimacy. It builds atmosphere, presence, anticipation. That's why it feels poetic. This book is often read at weddings, but it's misunderstood there. It's not promising perfect romance. It's showing what healthy desire looks like. And that's rare. Most people learn love from movies, which exaggerate passion and ignore patience. Song of Solomon does the opposite. If Job speaks to suffering, Psalm speaks to emotion, Proverbs speaks to discipline, Ecclesiastes speaks to meaning. Song of Solomon speaks to connection. And connection is where most people break. This book reminds us, love is not weak. Desire is not shameful. Waiting is not wasted. And maybe that's why this book feels dangerous. Because it asks you to slow down, to feel deeply, to choose carefully. Song of Solomon doesn't tell you how to find love. It shows you how to honor it when it appears. If you've ever rushed love and regretted it, felt desire and felt guilty, loved deeply and been afraid to lose, this book understands you. It doesn't judge. It observes. And in a world that treats love cheaply, that might be the deepest wisdom of all.